Oh jeez, it's so stormy and rainy outside in the New Donk City for today. Couldn't it just be like nice and hot weather for once? But I digress. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario here once again and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. So, last time we actually did manage to have a one-on-one fight against with Bowser, of course. In addition to that though, we did manage to explore a little bit of some time in the Lost Kingdom, because even then though, originally we were trying to go into the Metro Kingdom, but we've got interrupted by the forms of, you know, the one-on-one Bowser fight. And especially noticeable how the fact that he managed to destroy ourselves, the Odyssey, at least for the first time around. And even then though, that we have to collect those power moons and able to actually fix the Odyssey in no time. So, yeah, today for this episode, folks, is the fact that we're going to be hit off to possibly the best kingdom in the entirety of the game. And that's the forms of the Metro Kingdom. Now, I say that this is the best looking, kingdoms in the entirety of the game, because even then, before we actually get into this, however, though, let's just go ahead and get into here, though, because after all, we still got some plethora of coins, like 746 coins, so even then, though, we can actually buy ourselves the, well, we've already got the first power moon in this kingdom, due to the secret path that we've already, gone through. So even then, though, this might actually be the second, Metro Kingdom power moon that we've got, so even then, or for this matter, though, the first ever power moon that we've got in this video, so even then, though, that, yeah, as far as I'm majorly concerned with that, for this specific points noticed, so even then though, yeah. As you can see right there, everything else is entirely rainy, especially noticeable how everything else in this particular Metro Kingdom is entirely in chaos, because even then though, that the entire objective we're going to be doing with right there, is to be able to actually go all the way up to the top of the actual tower building, to actually investigate who's responsible for all this, mess, which even then though, yeah. Now, we've already, you know, processed the tanks before, so even then, though, that ever since during the likes of Wooded Kingdom, so even then, though, that we can actually do that again. So even then, though, let's go and grab that power moon inside the iron gritter. So even then, though, that should be worth a while to be able to actually notice that, so yeah. Man, I really love the, although similar style to how it does it, but in forms of Super Mario 3D World, is that the rainy textures, especially noticeable if it's like, the shiny models of ourselves looks absolutely gorgeous, just like how it does in new forms of the level from World Bowser -1. I'm assuming that one of the rainy textures can get really shiny and gorgeous at one form or another, especially noticeable in the actual shiny reflections in new forms of the actual water itself, or in this case, these raindrops. So, I really appreciate about this kind of stuff. So. Anyways, enough about the sightseeing, so let's go ahead and get into the construction access by the forms of the checkpoint flag. So, now obviously we need to be able to actually go all the way up to the top, as you expected, and as you can tell, there are some abundance of Bowser and Peach wedding posters, which even then I don't want to let that happen, because even then Mario, he's the only one who can actually save, you know, Princess Peach all the goddamn time, but even then the only exception being the Super Mario 3D World, because, you know, excuse me, I just got something in my throat there, so I must admit that I apologize for that. So, here we are to the heliport. So even then though, before we actually get to this, however though, I can definitely see there's a power moon right there, which thankfully though, that could be easily be reachable thanks to the actual Cappy's long jump. So even then though, that way we should be able to get ourselves the gritter sandwich. So yeah, that's all I can really say about this. So, of course, that I can't able to actually go back up, but luckily though, since I've managed to activate the checkpoint flag in the heliport, so that means we can able to actually traverse from this point right here. So, yeah, today was actually forms of the 20th of May, 2018, and I was actually looking forward to it, because as you expected or too, we haven't got that far left in the forms of the E3 2018 stuff. So even though that I can't believe the days themselves are going really fast. Especially noticeable how the fact that we've almost got ourselves, let's just say about 21 days left, or 3 weeks left for this matter. But even then though, we only got about 23 days left to be more specifically. So there's another power moon right there, just onto this little particular, well, swaying platform, swaying in the breeze. I think that's why most people seem to encounter this power moon first of all, because even then though that, yeah, that's all I can really talk about for that point or another. So, here we are to inside the actual New Donk City Hall intro. So even then though that we can able to actually go all the way up to the top, while avoiding all sorts of enemies right there, including the likes of these micro Goombas right there. And let's go ahead and get ourselves my heart back after getting hit by the forms of these micro Goombas around here. So I don't think I can really get into the long jump of that specific platform over there because it's way too further away from that point. So even then though, that maybe seems the case. On the other hand, that we can able to actually get ourselves the regional coins on that specific part. And yes, just like the ones in both the Sand Kingdom and the Wooded Kingdom so far, this particular kingdom only retains like 100 of those little regional coins, and then as a result for this kinds of stuff, then we can able to actually get ourselves all kinds of souvenirs along the way. And even especially noticeable that if we actually manage to come back to these previous kingdoms for some more stuff, then we can able to actually get ourselves the majority of the regional coins from that way and onwards. So alright, so let's go down here to actually get ourselves 2 more regional coins here from this point here. So we've got only 21 of them. Now, the reason why I'm going to have to keep on grabbing those regional coins, because even then though, as far as I've, you already noticed about this before, that how the fact that most of these missions until later on, will actually require you to be able to actually use certain costumes to be able to actually access these different areas. Even then though, you can definitely tell why until, well, you've already, seen those kinds of stuff from before. So even then though, I just want to point things out for that again. So, if we go over there, this is where we get ourselves not only get... Let's just get rid of the actual posters. Anyways, we got ourselves the next Power Moon inside the treasure chest. City Hall Lost and Found. So we've only got 5 as far as the actual collective Power Moons so far. What else in the New Donk City or Metro Kingdom's Power Moons collective wise? I believe we've only got about 6 of them so far. Because, we've already technically got one in the forms of the, the secret path. I think that I've managed to obtain that thanks to the forms of the Sand Kingdom's picture frame and what have you. So anyways, let's go ahead and grab ourselves the life heart right here. And hopefully we should be able to be good to go with this particular point. So yeah, I should probably mention about this actually, when it comes to able to actually gain ourselves a little bit of more health and stuff like that, because even now, actually I might as well explain more on that later. New Donk City Hall rooftops, even now we've almost nearly towards at the top here, so even now that we can't afford to be able to actually fall off the level, unless if you actually be very curious to do this, so... Anyway. Let's go on to this little zip line, and we can able to traverse all the way up, and we actually got into this particular problem right there. So, yeah, that's what I can say about it. That thing is trying to suck up all the juice from our city. Jeez, I don't like the sound of that. But anyways, let's go and deal with him. I can't believe that Mario did manage to survive for the longest amount of heights, compared to how it does in the forms of Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 64, doesn't it? So anyways, here we go folks, this is the forms of the next boss fight in this game, but in forms of Mecha Wiggler. Now I say that because in order to actually deal with this boss is that you have to attack his segments, and then once you do that, then it's your chance to be able to hit any of these segments notice, and so you're able to actually deal some of the damage in the forms of Mecha Wiggler. So yeah, it's a pretty intense boss fight though, and even then though, I think this is one of those locations back in during the likes of E3 2017, when it comes to the playable demo on that particular E3 2017 year. This might actually be, alongside with Sand Kingdom, this kingdom might actually be playable in the forms of E3 2017 demo, which, and also can be same applies to how it does in the forms of I would say a showcase in the forms of E3 2017 Treehouse Live. Even though they've only show us the forms of the New Donk Cities, the day and night system, or in this case especially noticeable in the forms of the Mecha Wiggler fight. And it might be very tricky sometimes, especially noticeable that if you ever think about concentrating onto the segments one at a time, Then next you notice that you have to desperately need to avoid there's a lot of fireballs, or in this case projectiles, right at you. So that's the only difficult part about this fight, I feel like. But even then though, aside from that though, it's pretty easy as long as you're able to actually get used to with this fight's mechanics. So, there goes my, life hearts, stimulating part. So, oh god, I think we only got, one more segment left. So, I don't think you can get all the segments in during one go, because there were a few times though that these, projectiles might actually decide to, distract you, which even then though, that seems the case, mind you. But anyways though, let's go ahead and just finish him off as usual. So even then though, let's go ahead and just get rid of these fireball projectiles. And even then though, sometimes it can really directly hit you easily, which even then though, that's the only thing that makes it so tricky for the most part though. So anyways, let's go ahead and deal with this last few hits on Mecha Wiggler, and boom, he's done. Because yeah, unlike in any other bosses in this game, they normally deals like 3 regular hits. Well, this one, it might actually took about 2 direct hits. Well, multitude of hits, I should say, because even then, it just makes it a little bit longer when it gets to like 3 hits. But there we go. We've pretty much dealt with Mecha Wiggler in new forms of New Donk City. So even though we've only got ourselves 3 power moons on that multi-moon here, so New Donk City's past the problem. Nice one. So I don't remember how much power moons that we've got at the moment right now, but even though we've actually managed to restore, New Donk City, and everything else is bright and cheery, so a fresh start for the city. This could be for one thing. We got rid of the big bug thing, and the weather's clearing up. Or cleared up, I should say. But Bowser must have gotten away in a scuffle. We should probably get back into chasing him. We don't have enough power moons, so let's look around the city for some. So anyways, before we do this actually, I just need to double check beyond for that specific picture frame, because it's clearly not showing up in the forms of the actual first starting point of the forms of New Donk City. But as soon as you're able to done that, when it comes to able to beating the likes out of Mecha Wiggler, then we can actually traverse through different kingdoms for different paintings. So as you can see, we've actually traversed back into the Lake Kingdom. So even now, because of this particular power moon, secret path to Lake La Mode. Which even now, that I think that's why I was going to be saying for that specific point of that another known for the forms of, that specific kingdom is called. So anyway, since we've got that, and even then, we're probably not going to go back for Lake Kingdom anytime soon, because obviously we still need to be able to concentrate on the majority of the actual missions themselves, or the power moons obtaining in the forms of the Metro Kingdom, aka New Donk City. So here we go. Oh man, this looks so beautiful, especially noticeable how big this place is. Sure, it looked a bit weird at first when it comes to the townspeople, because if you probably noticed something right from the start though, is that the peoples themselves look very much almost identical to Sonic 06 townspeople in the forms of Soliana, but honestly, I feel pretty much comfortable with. Sure, they're a little bit too weird at first because they all look somewhat realistic, but even then, aside from that though, once you get used to with the forms of the comparisons between this and Sonic 06, I still really think that the Sonic 06 realistic people do look very, very out of place. And even especially noticeable how the fact that how rushed the Sonic 06 game was. So, but at least this game does have polish though, so even though it does feel a lot more accurate, well, at least as far as the actual visual structure as far as this is concerned. So I believe there's going to be a next power moon somewhere around here, which is this particular power moon here. Who piled garbage on this? Well, don't ask me why. I really don't know. So yeah, I really do enjoy this particular place, especially noticeable how the fact that I say this is probably the best looking kingdoms out of the bunch, because, well, first of all, this particular place almost feels very similar to how it does it in the New York City, in the forms of the actual takes place in the United States of America, first of all. And because of that, the actual buildings look very much like how it does it from that. And similar to how it does in the forms of the Empire City, in the forms of Sonic Unleashed as well. Which even I know, that also takes place in the forms of the America because of all the buildings and all that stuff. So, And as from that, there's also a whole abundance of Donkey Kong references. Like, you can definitely tell why when we actually get into the actual gritter platforms, as far as I'm aware. And actually, let's go ahead and just concentrate what we're gonna be going on with this kind of stuff. So sometimes the frame rates can drop a little bit, which I will which I will honestly admit it though. Sorry for the lack of you know, dialogue for that point, folks. But basically, that sometimes my game tends to lag a little bit, especially noticeable if you're actually trying to get into the main action in the forms of the new Donk City itself. But even then, aside from that, this is very, very pretty looking stage, or even the actual kingdom itself, as far as I'm aware for that. So, okay, we can't talk to him just yet though, because obviously we do need to talk to Pauline, the princess that, or in this case the woman, that, you know, that back in during the likes of Donkey Kong and the arcade, and even especially noticeable by the forms of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series. Well, most notably in Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, all the way up to Tipping Stars at this point, that we haven't seen Pauline ever since during the likes of, I would say, well, this game did first came out in 2017, and then Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars came out in 2015, so it's about 2 years far from between. This place is amazing. All these big buildings everywhere. I got curious to see what's inside one. Turns out there was a power moon in here, which I hope you like it. So yeah, there's another Captain Toad location, so how are you doing, Captain Toad? And yes, definitely Captain Toad, you will definitely gonna be exploring this place in no time. When it gets to the Nintendo Switch version and the Nintendo 3DS versions of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, so you're definitely gonna have to get a lot of exploration on here. So even then, I'm really looking forward to see how you are able to actually experience with this particular kingdom. I'm gonna have to admit though right away. So yeah. Anyways though, I guess there's not much else I can really say for this little news and discussions about that stuff, besides we can able to actually just go all the way up, and even end up, because I believe, not to mention we get ourselves this little particular, you know, we actually gone into the highest height ever, and I can see there's a power moon right there. Can't be long jump for the win, so no need for the umbrellas. Glittering above the pool. Man, I really wish I'd love to be able to actually swim onto the actual swimming pool itself. From the starters though, by the forms of the Power Moon's collective arm when it comes to this particular kingdom itself, this particular kingdom only holds up to 66 Power Moons. Jeez, I wonder how many we can get. But I digress though, so let's go and get these regional coins from there, even though, yeah. I will still say though that how the fact that Sand Kingdom might be still the biggest kingdom of the bunch, but even then, no, we'll see what happens there. Left at the cafe. Gee, okay. So anyways though, aside from that, oh yeah, we need to talk to Pauline now, because even then, now we can able to do the majority of these missions now. So Wall Plaza, so yeah, New Donk City really means the world to me. I just can't thank you enough for all of your help, Mario. Well, at least ever since during the likes of Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. You really must join us for our upcoming festival. Would you like to show my gratitude to both you and the city with a surprise? Well, yes, absolutely, yes. Do you think you can find me 4 backup musical ins so I could small musical number, something simple? So yes, basically, in order to actually deal with this particular mission, as far as what Pauline actually said to us, we're gonna have to get ourselves 4 musical ends before you're able to actually deal with this particular mission. So even then, though, that you have to find 4 of them. So first of all, we have is the drummer, and I believe the next one is gonna be based around from presumably guitar, and also the trumpet, and even the actual a violinist. I'm presuming that will actually be this matter. So let's go over towards this other section here. And not only do we get ourselves this next musical in right there, which is basically a guitar player, but even then, let's go ahead and just, before we talk to him actually, let's go ahead and ground pound this little scrap. And there we go, Power Moon obtained, hidden in the scrap. Like, you know, scrap metal, as far as you expect it to. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk to him real quickly, and we can able to get ourselves another power moon. Seriously, we can get a lot of power moons in this game, especially noticeable how the fact that, okay, it says, bassist on board. Okay, I get the point for that point. So, anyways, that's the bassist out of the way done, and we can able to actually now go ahead and, move on to the next instrument in, or in this case, the musical in. But, before we do this, actually, I'm just gonna have to grab myself the, since we've got, quite enough of those regional coins, I could potentially try to go after the next costume, but I'll save that for later. But for now, let's go traverse through here to be able to do an obstacle course, basically. So, I should probably mention about this, actually, is the fact that, as far as I've already mentioned about this before, but in forms of how the fact that, whereas, Donkey Kong, DLC pack, when it comes to, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, well, apparently, though, this will be pushed back in the forms of, June at some point, because they're going to be saving that up until when it gets to E3 2018, which it should be next month or something like that, which I totally get that. But even then, no, I've heard from plenty of people, they're trying to say they're trying to be able to be releasing Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Gold Pack Edition, which usually contains like every single DLC content built in, which I can assume that will be the case or something like that. One man's trash. Yeah, I'm just pointing things out for this particular mission. So, anyway, though. Aside from that, though, yeah, I might be very curious to see how the Donkey Kong, DLC stuff will actually contains in Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, as far as I'm aware from this. And even then, though, especially noticeable how the fact that I'm pursuing that, the Gold Pack Edition, when it comes to Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Golden Pack Edition, will become physical. So even then, though, that's like, presuming that's what this usually happens. Which, I don't know if how the fact that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will get ourselves the Game of the Year Edition, which usually contains all of the DLCs built in. Which even then, I almost will find out during some point or another in the future. Mainly during the likes of, this particular year or something like that. Because they've, some video games attempt to do that when it comes to able to actually, when it comes to like, you know, let's just say Batman Arkham Asylum gets the Game of the Year Edition or something like that. Or maybe it's the Arkham City, which even then, that game does have the Game of the Year Edition. And same applies to how it does in the forms of, I would say Little Big Planet as well, which I could assume this might be something related to that. So anyways. Alright, so this here's the next Power Moon challenge here, so you're able to once again grab every single note, but you can actually do it in 3 different phases, but in forms of, well, first of all in the 2D section, and then the other one should be in the 3D section, and the third and final one is definitely both. So, there you go then. Taking notes in a private room. Okay then, seems pleasant enough. And we can able to actually get out of here. So even then though, we could able to potentially try and able to do some more things here and there. So if that's the case then, yeah, that's all I can really say about this as far as this point. So far we've only got about 1 more Power Moon left before you're able to advance. But in forms of next 2 kingdoms we're about to be exploring for this part. So even then, I'm probably not gonna save that up until we actually get to the next couple of videos up ahead. But even then though, let's just go say that much. Let's see what's in here. Oh, this is one of the most intense parts. First of all, we got ourselves the motorcycle right there, which you can able to actually use the Y button to accelerate and press B to jump, or even just, you know, press the ZL buttons to able to actually dismount, or dismount, I should say. I missed those regional coins. Let's take a death here. I don't know why I'm just doing that. I have no idea why I'm just doing that right there, because of how the fact that I was so desperate to get in those regional coins before I able to 100% everything. So, if that's the case, then yeah. In fact, kind of think about it, this particular section right there is slightly similar to how it does it in Jurassic Park does. We were especially noticeable by the forms of the Jurassic World, and even the upcoming, Jurassic World, you know, Fallen Kingdom. Which even then though, I'm actually looking forward to for that specific film right there. So anyways. Oh, I missed the Power Moon! Shoot, there's no way to turn back. Oh jeez, I can't believe I missed that. I might also come back for that after when I managed to obtain the Power Moon first. So let's go ahead and obtain that first. Motor Scooter Escape. So anyways, that's that done, and now I just need to take a death right there. I know it's a little bit committed suicide situation, but It's just that I just cannot believe I actually missed that power moon by complete accident. I think it's mainly due to how the fact that I was a little bit too off with that jump angle, which even though that might be seems the case. Oh, this happens to me the third time in a row. I keep on jumping like 3 times, and then the third jump, I've always entering the scooter itself. So, yeah, let's try this again. But at least on the plus side though, that we've gone through every single, you know, regional coins from this section here, so that should be the case here. So, in fact, this particular part also reminds me of the forms of getting chased by the dinosaur, or the T-Rex rather. Feels very similar to how it does in the dinosaur jungle in the forms of Sonic and the Secret Rings. Big jump escape. Because that's what the mission's called for that point there. So yeah, I'm presuming that we've pretty much done with this section for now, because even I know that, not to mention that I get myself my health back after obtaining the already collected power moon, not to mention for this part. And we can able to actually continue on and able to get the next set of power moons as far as we'll consider this. So, there we go, we've got ourselves 20 of those power moons in this kingdom so far. Well, technically 21, because, you know, the secret path, you know, picture frame that we've already gone through. So that's out of the way. And now let's move on to the next couple of missions up ahead. But first of all, let's go ahead and buy... Oh, these costumes are very familiar. Because if you ever played NES Open Tournament Golf before, or even especially noticeable with the forms of this particular familiar costume right there, because I'm going to be wearing that until now anyway. Introducing, I'll present to you, or actually before you're able to actually get ourselves changed though, let's go ahead and buy some of these little collectible statues right there. Like the forms of the Golden Pauline statue, and especially noticeable by the forms of the new Donk City Hall. So, there you go then. I don't think we've got enough regional coins for the last 3 items, but we'll come back for that sooner or later. Introducing Super Mario Maker costume! Yes, I really do love this Super Mario Maker costume in the forms of that makes this debut in a 3D game like this, which I was super appreciated with this kind of stuff, because after all, by the forms of 2015, they did recently release Super Mario Maker for the Wii U back in June in 2015 by the forms of the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Super Mario Bros. After all. And especially noticeable in 2016, they've got the 3DS version of the forms of Super Mario Maker for the... well, obviously for the 3DS. And I was really hoping that Nintendo Switch will get itself a treatment in the forms of the Super Mario Maker game. But we don't know exactly for surely just yet though, so even then we'll have to wait and see what happens. And yes, this is the reason why I've got myself my Builder Mario on, is because we need to acquire this costume to actually get inside in this particular room here. Which by the looks of it though, because of the actual main purpose of this particular obstacles gimmick is the forms of the zip lines. So that's pretty obvious with this solution right there. So let's go ahead and go all the way over there to get ourselves, well, let's just say just coins itself. So works okay, I suppose, but even then it's pretty good for you if you want to be able to buy more stuff here and there, like costumes or especially pretty much everything. So there we go then. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. And actually I just wanted to point things out for this point actually. For those of you who actually missed it already, and for those of you able to watch ourselves the, let's just go ahead and backtrack real quickly and to able to actually just get out of there for this middle part right there, because of this power moon on inside the crates. Well, one of them is actually in the middle, so there we go, we've got ourselves a power moon right there off the beating wire. So anyways though, if you actually play this game on assist mode, which basically means it's the easy mode of the game, one thing I should probably mention about this is that originally in the forms of the normal game in Super Mario Odyssey, you start things off with 3 health, and then if you manage to get the life heart, it gives you 6. However though, if you actually play this on the assist mode, you start the you get yourselves let's just say 6 health, just like how it does in the forms of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, when it comes to able to actually obtain the life streams and stuff like that, rewiring the neighborhood. Anyway though, if you manage to obtain the life up heart, if you're on the assist mode, whenever you get yourselves 6 health on you, what this meant is the fact that you can get yourselves 9 health, which is quite a lot of health to your disposal, which even then it could be very similar to how it does it in you know, 8 health points in the forms of both Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine at the same time. which even then, that might be seems the case, but obviously I'm pretty hardcore, and there's no need for me to able to actually access to the assist mode, which even then, that might be seems the case, mind you, for me, so... Although you can change the settings though, unlike the ones in, you know, the difficulty setting in the forms of, you know, in Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. But even then though, because of that solution with this kinds of stuff though, I think that's what I can say about this for the most part though, and especially noticeable by the forms of, you can't change your, different modes between the two, but it comes to, the original mode and funky mode, and even new mode and the original mode for both Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, and especially noticeable with the forms of Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Switch. So, that's pretty obvious with this little, you know, the purpose of being, like, changing these modes prospectively. Like, you can change that anytime you want in this particular game. But on the other hand, though, for the most of those games, like, you know, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, and especially noticeable by the forms of, you know, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, you can't change the difficulty anytime or anywhere, so you have to stick with that mode. And same applies to how it does it. You can't change your difficulty in the forms of every single Kingdom Hearts games. Well, at least you can in the forms of, you know, Kingdom Hearts Recoded for the Nintendo DS. Like, you can change that difficulty anytime or anywhere, because due to the ranking system and all that stuff. But aside from that, though, that's pretty easy to eye. So, anyways, though, so let's go ahead and just get ourselves the third and the final seed to plan through. In fact, I have no idea how the heck I'm supposed to do right there, because even then, though, I could potentially might as well, this one might actually be one of the hardest, seeds to plan through, because if you manage to toss it from here, and you're gonna have to figure out where you're supposed to wall jump and all that stuff, and then if you don't make it in the nick of time, you're basically guaranteed that something will happen when it comes to if you're actually leaving a seed out of nowhere. Basically, it'll slowly disappear, which even then, that's the only bad thing on my part. Oh, speaking of disappearance, shoot. I guess I'll come back for that later. On the other hand, let's go ahead and get ourselves these regional coins from there, and, let's play some slots minigame, because we haven't, played a slots minigame for quite a long time, ever since during the likes of the Sand Kingdom, so let's go ahead and play those. And just like last time, we need to aim for the actual Power Moon icons, because if you accidentally, do that way too early when it comes to the icons between the heart, you're accidentally not going to get the actual Power Moon itself. But if you get all 4 of those Power Moon icons, then there you go then, Metro Kingdom slots. So there we go, we've actually collected ourselves 24 in this video, or in this case 25 Power Moons so far, in the forms of the actual Metro Kingdom itself. So yeah, it's not too shabby right there, so... I think coming up after this, when it comes to able to actually deal with the forms of multitude of tasks, but in forms of, you know, the Metro Kingdom, that I actually do really love the actual festival coming up, because even then though, we're probably introduced into the, well, I would say the first ever Mario game to actually feature the, well, this uniquest thing, but in forms of the, well, I'll explain more on that later, but for now, let's go ahead and try this again, but it comes to able to actually delivering that, plant, on the forms of the actual, I'm assuming this place actually contains, 3 parts, or, yeah, just 3 parts in general, so let's go ahead and just, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Come on, I swear to God, my jumps is exactly almost in a perfect fashion way, but it's just, I keep on screwing things up. Yeah, it'll slowly disappears again. Yeah, that is definitely one of the more difficult ones to able to actually go through, because not only because you keep on bumping into those, you know, gritter stuff like I do here, and it's also because of how this little traditions goes. Well, that's kind of cool. You can actually transform into yourselves into a taxi. Oh, this might take a little bit longer right there for this point, so yeah, I might as well come back for that in the next video, because even then I need to concentrate onto the forms of the main focus of this particular mission itself. So even then, with that being said, I'll save that in the next video, I promise. But it might be interesting though. So anyways, let's get back into things. But in forms of, let's just say we're trying to be able to continue on with the forms of just trying to get that damn third seed to actually plant in. So, oh, before we do that, actually, let's go ahead and toss it from here into those bushes here, and get ourselves the Power Moon right here. City Gardening Plaza Planter. Alright, so let's go ahead and just... Okay, you're supposed to go over here. And, you're supposed to able to... Okay, we got it planned. Alright, so let's get this... Let's try this again, shall we? See if that out... I probably should able to actually just to go ahead and say this right now. Okay then, so you're supposed to go over here. And you're supposed to able to actually just go ahead and just trying to toss the actual seed onto the forms of this particular platform right there. And you're supposed to grab onto the wall, and yeah, that's all you have to do here. So there we go. Oh, that can give me a lot of trouble on this sometimes, because even then though, that if I manage to screw it over for my wall jumps like this, sometimes it loses my footing sometimes, which even then though, that's the only difficult part about this mission to me though. But anyway, so let's get ourselves this little, you know, Cappy's long jump here. So even then though, that, yeah. Seriously, it looks very, very gorgeous, especially noticeable by the forms of how this game was usually made in HD, similar to how it does in the forms of Super Mario 3D World, and even especially noticeable with the forms of New Super Mario Bros. U, despite the fact that New Super Mario Bros. U usually retains the exact same level themes in the forms of enjoying the likes of in any other New Super Mario Bros. Games, which I would appreciate of how the fact that in the forms of when it comes to you know the fact that in Mario Party 9, and especially noticeable in Mario Party Island Tour, and even especially noticeable when it forms of new Mario Party 10, and even I would say similar to Mario Party Star Rush, that normally that most of the environments of that particular game usually heavily borrows from the New Super Mario Bros. Games, which even though I wouldn't exactly make fun as to be, you know, found this to be too surprising. But I was really hoping that in the next Mario Party game to be released on the Switch, expecting to actually make some of these environments look brand new, like the forms of this particular city environment, and even especially noticeable by the forms of, well, the Cascade Kingdom, or even especially noticeable in the forms of the sand, or it usually has a desert theme level, where I've already does that from before. So anyways though, that's all the musical wins we need. Thanks. I am amazed at your persistence. You should consider running for public office. Oh, really? Now I just need to figure out there's some other problems. See, the underground power plants seem to be out of a commission. Okay then. We need that thing to supply power to the festival. I don't suppose you're familiar with underground work, are you? Well, of course I can. I'm very familiar with this kind of stuff, Pauline, because I've done that several times. Because trust me, you'll leave it to me. I will count on you. So, because basically, you know this little glowing part, that's the next destination we'd like to go to. So anyways, let's go into the underground we go! Alright, so here we are, into the forms of the underground power plant. And that's the way we need to get to. And it looks like it's all covered in poison. So even then, that just like the ones in Wooded Kingdom, we're assuming we have to take care of those piranha plants from here. So even then, to be more specifically, these little bigger poison power piranha plants from this point here. So just gotta say that much until now. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and just get started right there. And yeah, I really love doing these shortcuts, especially noticeable by the forms of ignoring some of these segments like here. What you're normally supposed to do right there is to be able to actually throw Cappy onto those little green platforms until he starts to shifting. So even then though, you can definitely tell why when we actually get ourselves the next power moon in this particular segment's notice, because even then we'll explain more details onto that. So let's go ahead and just get ourselves this little... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. But that's okay though, because even now we get ourselves more regional coins. 63 regional coins, almost 64 regional coins. So that's pretty obvious with this solution there. So let's go ahead and get ourselves the oh wow, that was really close. But anyways, let's get our health back. And let's go ahead and toss the Cappy onto here. And before we enter the pipe though, on the other hand, there's actually a power moon where we can get. Oh my gosh, that was so close. That was so close. I've almost fell off and died for some arbitrary reason. But anyways, we got ourselves the power moon right there. Sewer treasure. So that deals the job done here. And now let's go ahead and long jump and it makes the leaps of faith. And we pretty much made it in no time. So anyways though, oh, Pauline was actually in there. Okay, I did not expect it. She was there in the first place. But anyways though, in order to actually deal with this part there, is to able to once again get rid of these bigger poisonous piranha plants there, because if you do that, then you would able to deal with this mission no problem. So there we go, that clears all of them out, and yeah, because basically, unlike the ones in Wooded Kingdom, you have to deal with just only one of them, but in this one you have to take care of two of them, so even though that makes it a little bit more of a, well, advanced syndrome, so powering up the station. And now we can able to actually activate this little switch there, and restore our health in the process, and we can able to get the festival running, so time to fire it up. Yes, absolutely. So at this point until the next few minutes, I'm probably not going to talk for this point in this particular video, because I'll let you guys to know of how do I think about this particular theme song we're about to be running to with the forms of the festival itself. Look at all these power moons they've got. But I digress though. Thank you, Mario. Now that you've powered up the city, it's time for the festival to begin. Oh, I'm really excited about this. Now we can kick off the festival in style and power, shall we? Oh hey, would you like to participate in the festival? It's right in your alley. Yes, absolutely. I'm really excited about this. Great. I know you've done proud. So, I'm not going to talk for this point, so I'll let you guys should enjoy this particular music. A traditional festival.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the New Donk City Festival, a celebration of the history of our city. And now, to get things started, her honor, Mayor Pauline.
Here we go, off the rails. You know it's time to raise our sails. It's freedom like you never knew. Fast or a pass, say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my hat is off to you. Oh, we can zoom all the way to the moon from this great wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, spit and shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up super high, high up in the sky. There's no power up like dancing. You know that you're my superstar, so no one else can take me this far. I'm flipping the switch. Get ready for the Odyssey.
And we go ourselves the next power moon, celebration in its streets. Just want to let you know.
Spin the wheel, take a chance. Every journey starts a new romance. A new world's calling out to you. Take a turn off the path, find a new addition to the cast. You know that any captain needs a crew. Taking stride to move side to side, they're just different points of view.
Man, that was a really beautiful song. But in forms of this particular point, this might actually be the first time ever in a Mario game to actually feature a vocal music performance. I'm assuming that song was actually called Jump Up Superstar, which I will admit though, that is very amazing when it comes to that performance. Especially noticeable how the fact that with the forms of, E3 2017, this song appears and I was like, oh my god, I was really hyped! But even then, I was really excited about this. I think the song performance, when it comes to Pauline's, voice example, I'm assuming that one of the musical performances is actually performed by Kate Davis. I'm assuming that's what that's actually music performance was. So anyways, though, let's just say about 32 of them, or perhaps maybe 33 power moons that we've got. So even then, with that being said, now we can actually going to be moving on to the next set of kingdoms. So 221 power moons that we've got. Now I'm probably not going to get into the next kingdom just yet though, because there are still some missions that I was missing out in the forms of Metro Kingdom, in this case New Donk City. So yeah, in fact, you can now able to actually get yourselves, Jump Up Superstar now in the forms of the iTunes, which even then I'm really appreciative with this kind of stuff. Since I've done Seaside Kingdom on my own time, so in that case, let's go and do Snow Kingdom from this particular playthrough, because I just want to decide from that, because yes, it has another fork in the road, but even I know, yeah. So with that being said, folks, we're gonna have to end things off here, so join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. It's the fact that we're gonna be continuing exploring with the forms of New Donk City to be able to actually get ourselves the next couple of power moons, but man, the music is so awesome. Even Jump Up Superstar, so I can pop into that tune any day. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.